Hello friends and welcome to our channel Homeopathy World. I am Dr. Samina and this is my channel. Please do like and subscribe to our channel for regular updates. Share our channel and comment on whether you like the video. To subscribe to our channel, please click on the bell icon below. You can also follow us on our Instagram account, that is @Homeo Clinic. You can follow us on Facebook at Homeo Care Clinic. So, avoiding the further ado, let's get started with today's video. Today's video is about crocodile tears. Yes, we all have heard about crocodile tears. But do crocodiles really cry? Are they real tears? No, these are fake tears. And that is why there is an ancient belief that the term crocodile tears is related or derived from a belief that crocodiles weep after killing or after eating their victims. You might have heard of a very famous Hindi proverb, Magarmach ke aansu. That means fake tears. Do people cry while eating? Are those real tears? Are these people faking their tears? Why do people cry while eating? All these questions come to us when we see somebody having tears in their eyes while they are eating. Well, those tears are actually not tears of crying, but they are the lacrimation. These people are shedding tears but are not literally crying. So why does this happen? Why does this happen to certain people? Now, you may wonder why. So here is the answer to your question. The answer to your question comes from a very rare disorder, a very rare syndrome, which is seen in a very few amount of people. So these people shed tears while eating because of a syndrome known as crocodile tear syndrome or gustolacrimation or Bogorad's syndrome, also known as paroxysmal lacrimation. When was it found? How was it discovered? Now this might run into your mind. So a Russian neuropathologist F.A. Bogorad first described this condition in 1926 in his article entitled Syndrome of the Crocodile Tears. Bogorad in his article argued that the tears were actually caused by the act of salivation. Hence the name Bogorad syndrome, because it was Bogorad who found out this condition. This crocodile tear syndrome is also popularly known as gustolacrimation. Gusto because it is connected to the salivary gland, or Bogorad syndrome because Bogorad is the one who found out the syndrome, and paroxysmal lacrimation. Now the question arises, how does it happen? This medical condition usually appears during recovery from Bell's palsy and affects the function of the facial nerve network. As a result, a person suffering from this syndrome may begin to cry while eating or drinking. It can be unilateral or bilateral, can happen in a single eye or both the eyes. So here we are going to see the anatomy of Bell's palsy. As we know that is the medical condition during whose recovery this crocodile tear syndrome happens. So in this anatomy of Bell's palsy, you can see the facial nerve network, and on either side the lacrimal gland and salivary glands. That is the anatomy of the Bell's palsy. Next, we are going to study the reasons why crocodile tear syndrome happens. What are the causes of crocodile tear syndrome? So the first primary cause, that is maximum times that is the cause, that is the paralysis of the facial muscles. Paralysis in the muscles of the face. Just like in Bell's palsy, any muscle of the face might be paralyzed, which may lead to faulty recovery, leading to crocodile tear syndrome. The next cause can be presence of lesion in the geniculate ganglia. So that can happen because of the lesion in the geniculate ganglia. The next reason can be malformation. Malformation also can be called as misformation or disformation. Malformation of the salivary glands into the lacrimal glands or tear glands. The default formation doesn't happen, and instead there is a faulty recovery. So during the process of recovery from the Bell's palsy, the nerve fibers that are actually destined for the salivary glands are damaged and by mistake regrow into the tear gland or the lacrimal gland, which releases tears while eating or drinking. So basically it's the salivation that is to happen, but instead what comes out is the lacrimation. So here in this picture you can see the anatomy of the facial muscles and the nerves that are innervating those muscles, and how the problem in the recovery can lead to crocodile tear syndrome. Now people suffering from crocodile tear syndrome are going to face some psychological challenges. Now what are those psychological challenges? So as we all know, they are going to continuously shed tears while they are having meal or while they are eating. So what happens at that time? The individual who is suffering from this particular crocodile tear syndrome has no control over shedding of tears, that is lacrimation, during and throughout the meal. And while it seems extremely frustrating, it should not be seen as a sign that the person is unhappy or emotionally unstable. Now, the next thing that commonly happens with those kind of people is that their relatives, their friends and family, they try to give them advices. So many people who do not even understand the cause of these tears, but seem to give them advice which is not applicable in such kind of situation, and the person with the syndrome may feel offended and then withdraws from social situations. Rather than paying attention, so what can the people do to protect them from getting offended is, rather than paying attention to the tears, clean handkerchief or tissue can be kept within the reach, and loved ones should be emotionally and morally supportive. Now what test can be done to find out whether the person is suffering from crocodile tear syndrome? So basically, crocodile tear syndrome is a very rare syndrome, and it is important that it is correctly diagnosed, especially at the onset, which improves the patient's outcome. It is also advisable to do Schirmer's test to determine the amount of glands affected. You can also see a video of Schirmer's glands, which Schirmer's test, which is there in the next video. But here there is a short description of Schirmer's test, where thin strip of filter paper is used and it is inserted at the lower fornix of the eye, and it produces enough tear to keep it moist. The test is used when the person experiences excessive watering or dry eyes, and it poses no risk to the patient. A negative test determines that the result is normal. Now, what can be the treatment? How do you treat crocodile tears syndrome? So, crocodile tears syndrome can be treated by administration of botulinum toxin, that is by injecting a small amount of botulinum toxin directly into the lacrimal gland which is affected, and it can relieve the person from continuous lacrimation. Now, what about homeopathy? How homeopathy helps in these type of cases? Homeopathy, as we know, depends upon the complete case history, but it is also very important to have the complete knowledge of the anatomy and physiology of crocodile tears syndrome, or for any syndrome for that matter, to treat it well. As we know, we treat the cause to treat the disease. So here in crocodile tears syndrome, as we know that the cause is for sure primarily paralysis or malformation or lesion in the geniculate ganglion. So however, here the majority of the cases result post Bell's palsy, that is during the recovery from the Bell's palsy. So the primary cause of this syndrome is Bell's palsy. Considering that the homeopathic medicines used in the treatment of Bell's palsy like aconite agaricus, cadmium, cocculus, causticum, dulcamara, nux vomica, platina, belladonna and hypericum can be used, or any other medicine which corresponds to the history of the patient can be used. Definitely history taking is very important, but these two remedies contain the rubric lacrimation during or while eating. So the first remedy that I found out was Zincum metallicum, and the second remedy was Oleum animale ethereum. So these are the two remedies which contain the rubric called lacrimation while eating. So this seems to be a little important. So here are these two remedies. You can also go and read those remedies so that you have a complete knowledge about them, and in our future videos we'll try to make separate videos on those two remedies. Please do like, comment, share and subscribe to our channel Homeopathy World for further updates. Thanks for watching.